Hello my good students, welcome back to our Pacific campaign on a war on the sea. We are finally moving out the Yamato towards Truk to regroup with Battle Force 2, where we will start pushing some surface engagements with that task force, some meaningful surface engagements rather than hitting minor supply convoys here and there. We also have the situation today of, I think, trying to push back a rather large invasion task force. The Allies are pushing towards our homeland once again, still lingering outside of Iwo Jima, not really pushing too decisively towards any one particular base just yet. We're going to try and get that with our supply interceptors with the Congo in them so that we can hit that hard. It does have a couple heavy cruisers to deter us from that, but it shall not work. We shall go and we shall beat them down. Let's go to the strategic map to have a wider look at our situation, shall we? So, we are, like I said, moving Yamato and a few reinforcements over to Fighting Force 2, which is at Truk to rearm, which it has indeed done. We're slightly damaged here after taking a couple stray shots from some supply ships. Cheeky buggers, aren't they, for doing that? But not to worry, nothing too major there. Can see the submarine once again. I think what we're going to do is once again detach our... detach, I think, 3... destroyers over here from this particular group, and they can go over to hit that. So what we can do is we're not going to be able to keep solid sight on that, unfortunately, so we're going to have to try, I think, and get some Emily's out here with depth charges and keep them over this task force here, which is now task force 94. Bloody hell, how many have we made? That is amazing. To help us with some airdrops, depth charges on that would be quite fun to do, I think. We are, of course, very close over here to the supposed invasion task force. We're coming over here with supply interceptors too. That's got 1, 2 heavy cruisers there, 2 light cruisers, a whole load of destroyers, and of course Congo there as well. Still deciding whether I want to put another destroyer in there. 5 would be very nice. 4 is the minimum, I would say, but it might just, we were thinking about getting another Congo in there, weren't we, in case we do come across some sort of battleship with this task force. I'm going to scout this out. I believe this was the escort for a King George we took out previously. I just want to double check that. It does appear to be, unless that's a battleship just there. Ah, that's a completely separate task force, that. Interesting. So we do have a threatening Pennsylvania over here, which is rather interesting indeed. I know 1 or 2 of you would be very happy to see that. We do, of course, have another New Orleans protecting that, and Atlanta by the looks of it. So we're going to come out of that. Just want to scout that out, just to double check what's going on with that, because it was marked as a cruiser task force on here. So that may be coming down as well to contend with us. How many New Orleans do we have left to sink? Because we've seen so many of them. But I don't really know how many we have actually sunk. We've sunk 4 of them, leaving 3 in total remaining. That's absolutely fine. In total enemy losses, slowly getting towards the 300 sweet spot there at 221, and 1.9 million tons sunk as well. That's excellent. Puerto Princesa is also ours, giving us the radar coverage to see a possible battleship task force over here. Do still have some minor troop defenders over here to get rid of. I think the thing we'll do with our next supply group, which is Sasakure over here, so we do need to have a look at that. Does have a good amount of engineering and fuel on there. The supplies on Puerto Princesa are okay as well, so we just want to get some engineering and fuel over there so we can start using that as an operational base there. What I might want to do actually is we're not planning to upgrade that, so I think we're going to pass through this particular entrance first. What are we doing on Hong Kong? We're upgrading that. We were thinking of upgrading it, weren't we? I don't think we want to at the moment. What we actually want to do is drop off some supplies on Kaohsiung to begin with, because the weekly depletion is going to kick in very soon. Drop off some supplies there to stave that off. Drop off a few supplies onto Puerto Princesa, and then get a few more on either Peleliu or Truk, I think. And I think Truk might be the one to go for, really. so we can make that a forward supply dump for us. So let's do that. Let's go to manage cargo. Going to go for a lot of, I think we'll go for a little bit of actually supplies to begin with there, just so we can bring some of those a bit more forwards and just load up on as much engineering and fuel as possible there, as much as we can eat. And then we'll just put some supplies on our destroyer escorts there as well. Take the long way around, because it is currently the safest way around to go through here. Don't have to worry about Puerto Princesa, or we were going to go to Formosa, weren't we? I've already forgotten about that. So we'll drop off over here. And at that point, it would be quicker to go round over to Puerto Princesa. I think we'll go to Formosa to begin with, and then think about our routes later on afterwards. Minor resupply is coming back to stock up, not to worry. We do have our invasion supplies coming out as well. They are not going to be able to carry all of these supplies, so I'm actually going to bring up Invasion Large 2 to pick up supplies as well and bring those forwards. And they'll be able to help out with the upcoming invasion of Manila. I think Manila will be our next target in the Philippines. I really want that. Going to test the waters, like I've said. At how bad the defences are there, because I would like to take a level 3 ports and 5 airfield so far down into our front lines here. That'd be excellent to have that forward base in this area. It'd take a lot of investment, absolutely, but we could probably make it work. We have a shitload of troops still, about 9.4 thousand on Del Monte, and most of our Davao troops are on Puerto Princesa over here, so we just need these supplies once again, which is the aim of that. So I think the aim is today, deter this task force, get some supplies shifted, take it from there. Let's get going. Okay, so we've got a surprise encounter with our detached destroyers over here, so it's quite likely that submarine. No sign of it just yet. Oh, there we go. There it is. You see the torpedoes coming off of our port's bow over here. Going to increase our speed of attack with this destroyer. Looks like they are coming in towards our centre there. So we're going to move ahead over here towards that, I think, with this particular destroyer. Increase our speed a tad here. The sea state is rather high in this rain. Looks like they're going for the Fubuki over here, are they? It's interesting there. Going to... I'm not entirely sure where those torpedoes are going, actually. Don't want to go too quick, just in case they do turn up to hit us, but we might have to turn in a little bit here towards them. Give them a narrow target. Increase our speed, I think, to max. Just head full and now turn a little more. You see, this one is what we're watching here. That's just going to scrape our paint there, so we can reduce our speed and try and get a contact with that. That should be right in front of us here. Gonna have to really reduce our speed here, maybe even just stop with these forward destroyers here. Try and get right on top of that. Can we abuse this look? It's right over here in front of us there. Just about see it. Suggests it's not an American destroyer with that such an opaque model there. I don't think we'd be able to see that if it weren't modded in. So we're going to increase our speed a tad here to try and catch up with that. Keep this destroyer moving forwards here. And I think keep this one still. We've got our Emily's coming down, but of course they don't have sonar themselves to check out for that. So we'll just decrease their speed once again and just come overhead like this. May have to turn back around though. Would love a real sonar contact on that though, but we can see that. Just I wish we got the contact on the map for that. That's really useful. It is modded in Submarine, isn't it? Oh dear. You shall never take away these minor exploits. Shall continue to be appalling in this game. So we'll get some depth charges ready. Get a spread of 3 there. Emily's are going to pass over that. We may have to just increase our speed, get right on top of that. turn the Emily's around so that they can come back. I think, yeah, just get right on top of that. Slow down. And hopefully that should pick us up. Might want to bring this destroyer up over here to sit on top of that to maintain a sonar contact. If we... so it's still about here. Should be able to pick that up. Looks like a... what is this? What is this? It's not... might be a T-class. Might be a bit too big for a T-class. We have located it. It's the... it's not the French Surcouf. Might have to call that T-class. Absolutely not American, I'll tell you that much. The Dutch only gets these ones. So I think that might be a T-class there. Let's identify that then. And what we'll do is we'll let that move forwards a bit, because what I don't want to do is hit our own destroyer with these Emilys here. What we can do is turn over towards that, target it, slow down our speed. We might even want to get a manual drop on this. Really got to turn a bit harder though. Might have to come back round again for that drop. Yeah, there we go. We've lost sonar contact with that. I think we'll drop on its last known position now, just a little ahead of that. May have screwed that up, but not to worry. We can go over with our destroyer here. Can we see the depth charges? There we go. Pretty much on target there, actually. Look at that. Oh, you love to see it. Will that have actually done any damage, though? That's excellent. Oh, that is top notch. Has that done any damage? Let's take a report. Heavy to critical. Oh, ho, ho. Excellent. Yeah, we'll just keep it a slow speed there then. Just move over there. Fast forward. Compress time a tad. Is that rising? Not anymore. Absolutely sinking. Let's retreat out of there. That's brilliant. Textbook sub hunting there. Let's posthumously identify that to make sure that was a T-class. It's going to be a tad embarrassing if I get that wrong. It was indeed a T-class. Excellent. So how many was that in total? That was just the one there out of two. Brilliant. Let's return home then with our Emilys. Reattach our task force over here to Fighting Force 1. And that is excellent. Let's carry on. Okay, so 1 or 2 days have passed since I last spoke to you, and it's been fairly quiet actually. Been picking up a few patrols, but they've not been poking too far. There's not been anything too significant either. This is the most significant that we've seen, and we're going to take a look at it because it is marked as a carrier, and it's not too far from Iwo Jima. Let's have a look. What do we have? Caught this just on the evening actually. It is... okay, it's a Bogue Invasion Task Force with a Colorado. And that is very interesting because that Colorado is really going to beat up our Congo. So we're going to have to come in with some torpedo air support. We can't let this slide because of the massive amount of enemy ships here. I mean, look at these transport ships. It's ridiculous. If we bring our Jake in a bit closer so we can maintain contact with that. Let's just increase its speed. Come in very quickly here. I want to see what sort of a destroyer escort this does have. We have a British destroyer over here. What the? How did that get downed? Oh, I must have had planes about. I wasn't looking. Yeah, 6 enemy aircraft there, but not to worry. We can see that if it weren't for that Colorado, it'd be straight on top of that because it's rather threatening. We are going to have to try and mark that up, but I've lost sight of it now. It was over here somewhere. We're on top of some sort of supplies over here, so we could try and chase that down. But if we can't get towards that, we are just going to have to retreat and look back towards Iwo Jima. I am launching the Yamato task force now. Out towards Wake Island sort of area, because we're seeing a lot of things come from this sort of direction now, and I get the feeling there will be more threats out over there, because we haven't caught anything from Rabaul on the Solomon Sea over here yet, have we? Which is rather unlucky. Not to worry, this one's not actually moving, so we'll keep that going towards the Gilbert Islands, like so. Nothing too fancy there, and we'll keep these guys going around here. Bit of a shame if it's a double submarine task force and not catching anything, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's keep going. Well, that's somewhat unexpected. We've just had a bombardment and some enemy troops land at Hong Kong over here. That's rather unlucky. Rather unlucky indeed. I did really want to keep that, especially since it's going to give us a little bit more fuel each week, just a little bit over there. But we did see this coming, actually, but we saw it. This is a battleship task force going towards the north of Formosa earlier, which is why we brought our submarines up to try and intercept that. But we're not going to catch that now, I don't think. Going to come out on the retreat to try and nab a few ships there. We have just been resupplied, so we do have our minor resupply task force, and our invasion supplies are loaded up with purely supplies. A few troops on our destroyer escorts. Maybe we can drop those off to help out over there, because it looks like we could take that, just really lacking on the supplies there. So if we reinforce that, it shouldn't burn our supplies down too much there. Just unfortunate that it will be a loss of supplies there. We're going to wait around another week anyway for our larger invasion supply force over here to bring down some more troops and supplies over the next week, and then we can look at finally landing on Manila, I think, so that we do have the supplies and such over there to support ourselves. Yeah, but we're going to have to burn through some more resources to maintain control of Hong Kong, because I let Pompeii slip, but I'm not going to let Hong Kong slip after fighting hard for that previously, unfortunately. So we are going to make sure that stays in our control. We might have to re-land on there. We do have 558 supplies there, just might burn down a bit too quickly. It's going to take some time to get down there, unfortunately. Bought another Congo. Going to get Hye out to help Supply Deceptors 2 over here, and I will bring over Soryu at the moment, but I'm going to make a separate task force, I think, with a Taiyo in to shadow Supply Deceptors 2 in case we do have to give that some more aerial support, as has been needed with the Colorado task force. We have lost sight of that overnight, so we're going to hang around over here, keep our scouts up, and keep an eye out for that. Let's keep going. And because we ran out of supplies on Hong Kong before we could reinforce it, we have lost Hong Kong. Our troops did just deplete so quickly because of our loss of supplies. So we are still going to try and recapture that. But we don't have a lot of troops to contend with that just yet. So what I'm going to do is come down with our invasion force over here and just load up a few what the bloody hell is it, troops over here with that, like so. Just take as much as we can for now, and we'll take away some later. We'll just get some more supplies out, I think, like that, and that will do. So we'll come straight in together like that. We'll wait over here at the north of Formosa like so, and we'll go in together and retake Hong Kong fairly easily there, which is a shame to have that on us. We've lost sight completely of that Colorado task force. It was looking like we saw some planes scouting out mainland Japan, so we brought our ships close. We launched so many scouts out for that, but no sight of anything. Get the feeling they slip past. We're moving now closer to Okinawa just to see if they do decide to go over there, because there's no sight of them. It's really, really sad there. Just ghosts. We've been reimbursed for our Taiyo there, which is why we have 111 command points, and I think we are going to bring that back out. Let's go over towards that and get out some destroyers to escort that, I think. Let's go with what do we want? Nothing too special. How many? We only have a couple Hatsuharus left. What about Shiratsus? We have a fair few Shiratsus left. Let's get a couple of those out, and that will do, just so it can shadow our supply interceptors and provide some sort of torpedo cover like that. Let's keep going. Okay, so we've found a battleship group which has snuck past us on Formosa, just over here. Could threaten Okinawa there, so we are going to scout that out with just a Hayabusa over here. We are close by with Congo and our Taiyo there, so it's not too much of a bother. Unless it does appear to be something massive. It does look like it's going towards Okinawa, so may have made the right call, but we'll probably be too late if it does decide to go over there. Might be facing another invasion and bombardment over there. We can see them in the distance there. What have we got? Interesting. They've got that far. Okay, so they are going for Okinawa. We're going to have to launch out something else to deal with that from Okinawa, aren't we? That's rather unlucky there. Just because it looked like they were getting so close to mainland Japan, we've directed all of our forces over there. But not to worry, we can probably still make that. We're going to have to park right on top of Okinawa with this group. Give that some time so we can respot that in a second. We'll keep our Hayabusa over here, just scouting about like that. Keep that going. But with Okinawa, we're going to have to get some Toryos out. We're going to have to get everything out, really, aren't we? Let's keep going, see if we can spot that. Okay, so it looks like we've made them change their mind. They've decided to retreat from Okinawa, but we have launched all of our Taiyo Zeros out, launched some Toryos out from Okinawa, and we do have some Vals out as well. Our targets are, of course, the supply ships, in case they do decide to, of course, land on Okinawa there. I am, however, going to send the Vals just to deter the Bogue over here. Not likely going to sink it once again, but we do want to damage that a little bit there and try and just deter that, encourage them to retreat a little, because I don't think the Vals will be enough to sink a supply ship. We are going to leave that to our Zeros and Toryos, which will come on over and protect the Vals. We get the Toryos to protect the Vals, at least as a diversion first, and we'll just come on down with our Zeros and strafe down some enemy ships. Let's follow our Vals with our Toryos, take off fire at will, so we do have that control to begin with. I think we'll slow down to begin with our Zeros, so we can all group up properly. And they can take some fire away from the Vals, which can now come in to attack the Bogue there. So even if we do all hit flush with our Vals, I'm not likely going to bring down the Bogue there. But like I say, I just want to make sure we send it back to port with its tail between its legs. Should now be diving. Excellent. Let's just make sure we are going slowly with this group and attack the C3 there, I believe it was. Should be coming in with the Vals there. Excellent. Doesn't look like they have any air cover either, which is brilliant. Yeah, terrible drop there on the first group. And a little better on that, but only 3 total bomb hits. So not to worry there, but it wouldn't have downed a transport ship, unfortunately. So that will be the job of the Zeros. That's not looking too bad at all on that first run. Let's form up once again. Make sure that our speed stays low. and we'll go straight on to this large ship over here. And press attack now that our speed is fine. Very nice strafe on there, that is excellent fire. Very nice saturation on that ship as well. How are we looking on this ship? Looking really for magazine explosions, but are we hitting the correct areas for that? Probably not. Just looking for volume of firepower on that, really. We'd have to turn back round and form up again with our zeros to get another strafe off there. That's okay. Absolutely fine there. What we'll do is increase our altitude and turn out. And let's take a quick damage report. Heavy damage actually onto the Bogue. Critical onto that larger ship there, and critical onto the C3, which is brilliant. In fact, the larger one over here is sinking. Might want to go for a hospital ship next, just to drive home that we mean business. There's a secondary explosion onto that Bogue. We could even try and strafe that down. Really could try and strafe that down actually. We're just circling over here. Let's come back and form up. Slow down once again. Over the destroyer over here. That is a Gridley there, I believe. Oh, that's a it's a Benham, I believe, actually. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So I think it will go for this particular hospital ship. Just target that to visualize it. Dive on down towards it. Maintain a decent speed at the moment. That C3 is burning very, very hard indeed. That might even be scuttled if it doesn't burn down completely. Do have the Toryus actually still about. Did forget about them. They'll be quite far away now, but we can bring them back in to finish off that C3 if need be. I've lost a couple zeros and we are smoking a bit there. Don't think we need to go at too slow a speed. We are running out of ammunition on our zeros. Probably get enough for another strafe after this. Might not have been a bad idea to split up our zeros half and half, but we do need volume of firepower to make sure these go down. Just a couple sinkages will really do us a great job here. Look at the fires on that thing. That's going to be going down for sure. Look at that. How much ammunition do we have left? Just a little bit. Probably not enough to sink anything from scratch. So what I'm going to do is just encourage that Bogue to stay on fire, I think. So we're going to slow down our speed and approach that immediately. Taking manual control as much as we can over here, and we should tell them to attack from here. Don't want to risk repositioning in all of this AA to get a lengthways attack. We'll just go in, encourage it to burn a little bit more and get out, I think, and that will be all of our ammunition. Number 6 is going down, which is excellent. That was the hospital ship, and we can form up once again and get out with our zeros there because we are now out of ammunition completely. How's that Bogue looking? Critical damage to heavy flooding. That might well sink down. Do of course have some burning, smoking Toryus over here. Do we want to encourage the C3 to go down? Let's take another look at that. Critical to heavy. Let's make sure we encourage that to go down. We'll come from the front of that ship because that is the least directly damaged part, so we'll spread it out over there. Coming at a high speed on the approach there. Looks like the fires are really roaring on that though. That could well go down nonetheless without our support there. But we'll just encourage it that much more there. That's okay, we can do that. Doesn't hurt whatsoever. We'll dive down a little bit more so we don't need to circle in just a second. And we'll reduce our speed on the approach here. Not too slow though, just so we can make this a quick hit and run. Yeah, that bow's got quite the list on it now. Let's just snap on over to that. Yeah, that's really nasty on that. Maybe a couple more bomb hits, that would have gone down. The Bogue does have 0 armour on it. That's why I've done so much to it. You can technically strafe down a Bogue from scratch, but I do like to encourage it. Don't know if it really did a lot on that C3 there. So what we'll do is we'll come out with our Taurus. Do have a loss of ammunition. In fact, it might just slow down and come from the back once again there. And that will do just fine. Might be able to penetrate a few more components on the rear of this ship actually and cause a magazine explosion on the back if we're lucky. It looks like it just cannot keep on top of these fires here, which is excellent for us. Really, really good indeed. If we were feeling particularly spicy, we might send the Zeros in for a kamikaze attack, but there's no need. I want to preserve as many planes as we can here. And having said that, I'm going to just tickle that bogue again because it's so close to being downed. I will take any opportunity I can to down a carrier. Colorado there, very close to actually hitting the supply ship. But we're not going to do loads and loads there, are we? I think we're going to turn round down to 20 meters. Form up, thank you. Turn round. It's just the one plane now. I might not be able to get this off. You know what I'm thinking. I've said the word kamikaze, it's in my head now. So we're going to increase our speed so we get in. Going to try and get on its bridge because that's the tallest part of the ship. Try and manually steer this, but we might just miss. We'll do it. That should encourage some more fires on that. Certainly some more structural damage. Keep an eye on it. What's the report saying? Critical to critical, so we just need to wait around now. And critical to critical on the C3 as well, so it's just a waiting game. Okay, so after a small wait, those two ships did go down. I actually hadn't noticed that one of the destroyers was on critical state there. Might have waited around to see that. That might have been down to some sort of collision they had. Can we just pivot around over here to catch something in the background? I can't see anything obvious. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting indeed. Let's go though. 9 command points, a carrier escort down. Excellent, deterred the invasion there. You can see they got some torpedo bombers off there. What we can do is chase that down anyway to try and deter that a little bit harder. And double check that that was in fact a bogue rather than perhaps like a Casablanca. And it was indeed a bogue. Gonna show they just have far too many there. It's not even worth counting. 41. We've only downed. Well, we have downed 3 apparently. One. Oh no, a bit more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we're making progress there, guys. I'm waiting really to see the Independence class come out. That would be great to see. Just for a bit of character there. But I think one more engagement and that will do it, because it's been recording for a while and it's been a bit slow, hasn't it? Not a lot gone on otherwise. Let's keep going. Well, you joined me in the very late evening, 5 minutes past 8 PM, 38% visibility, which is why it's pitch black. We launched out some Emily's with 2 800-kilogram bombs because we found a enemy supply convoy off the coast of Japan. This may well be the group which hit Hong Kong, because we didn't manage to pick those up straight afterwards. We are going to try and hit something here. What do we have? Have a New Orleans. We have, okay, maybe this is the one we previously cited. It's a New Orleans, Exeter. What else have we got? A few transports, of course. The Perth. Okay, so this is very interesting. Is that Norway? Is that the one that made it to Hong Kong? It's coming away from Hong Kong. They can't have made that time though. And we did keep sight of them. That is really embarrassing, and we are going to try and hit them for it. What we can do is get down a little lower because the visibility is so terrible there. And I think because they have left, we're going to try and hit this New Orleans here. What we're going to do is brake, of course. like this, and what we can do is attack from here. I will, I think, slow down our speed so that we do get slightly better accuracy. Only just firing out onto us here. They're small arms. It's far too late though. Far too late. Probably lose enemies on the retreat here. There we go. There we go. What we'll do very quickly is tell them to form back up and guess out. Just increase speed and altitude and turn to their flank there, and we can watch to see, fingers crossed, if we do hit this ship. Probably douse it a tad. No our luck with bombs. Yeah, the one hit, that'll slow it down. Won't do anything too horrible though. But that's right in the midships there. That's really going to hurt its speed. That should have destroyed the funnel there and most of the engine rooms. We have lost 2 enemies on the retreat there, which is rather unlucky. That's okay. Look at that though. The nerve of them to get so close to our homeland. They got away with it though. Got away with it. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. But look at the fires on that. We'll let those develop and then we'll leave. Well, on the same night of that attack, about 2 hours later, our engineering task force has made it to Puerto Princesa. We are going to unload all of our cargo remaining over here. Let's just double check that. We did use the manual drop to unload some previous cargo here. So just double check we are unloading with absolutely everything there. We have a few bits left. You see we can unload in intervals of 10 units now, which is excellent for managing the bases that you do have, and that is absolutely everything on our ships now. So how we're looking at Puerto Princesa, we do have 148 engineering, 160 fuel, certainly enough to keep that operational and to start using the air groups over here, and that is brilliant. So that'll be it for today, guys. I think we have to say been recorded for a fair time, and we've got a couple engagements in there. Very useful strategic win over outside of Okinawa. Deterred an invasion over there, but lost Hong Kong due to another sneaky invasion. That must have been that convoy we just hit, and we did see over here at the beginning of the episode there how the hell that got through all of our scouts, all of these ships, and then went all the way to Hong Kong. I have no idea. No idea. You saw the scouts we have off here. But, you know, well done to them is all we can say. We are going to move in and recapture that. Shouldn't be too difficult with the massive amount of supplies and some decent troops over here now. And then we can move those on to Manila. I mean, that's at least one good thing. We're closer to Manila with those supplies after that. And then we can wait for the next week. Shouldn't be too long now, about 3 days now, before we do get resupplied once again and pick up some more supplies there. So that's going to be the plan for the future. That will have to wait until the next episode though, I think. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I shall see you later on. Hope all of your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.